All right, once again, I'm just reminding you of how awesome you are. And all the stuff we've already done, I'm just showing you different ways that your awesomeness can be used. So we talked about slope is a rate of change, the change in y over the change in x. We talked about how your y-intercept is when x equals 0, and that's your starting point, your base phi. We talked about y-intercept is when you solve for y, it makes those things easier to find. And we did all this awesomeness, right? So we talked about slope and how it's the change in y over the change in x. And I showed you this complicated way to apply that formula. But I also showed you my cool, awesome shortcut way of finding the change in y on the top, changing the x on the bottom, and just putting them together. Cool? So now we're going to finish up those notes, practice some of my awesomeness, and find the whole thing from 2 points. So we talked about how your y-intercept is when x equals 0. This x is 0, so your back number, your starting point, is 3. Don't need to do the work. What we need to do is find the slope. So from 3 to -1, you're going back, and you're going to have to go back 4. 0 to -4, you're going to have to go back 4. So change in y over the change in x, your slope is going to equal -4 over -4, which is 1. So y equals 1x plus 3, which is the same as, let's go. So please try to find the answer before I do it. Feel free to pause me, but now I'm gonna roll through. This is not your y-intercept, because your y-intercept is when x is 0. This is when your y is 0, so you can't use that same shortcut. So let's get it. 0 to 5, you go up 5. -4 to 1, you go up 5. So once again, your slope is the change in y over the change in x. Y is your back, the second number in your ordered pair, so this is going to be 5 over 5. How lucky are we? We still get 1. So we have y equals 1x plus b. Okay. I don't know what b is, but I can find it. Whenever given a choice, I always use 0. Makes life easier. So when your y is 0, your x is -4. So what can you add to -4 to get 0? +4. So now that you found your slope, and now that you found your back number, put them together. Y equals 1x plus 4. Y equals x plus 4. That's game, y'all. One more time. I don't have any zeros, so this is just going to be a mess. Feel free to pause before you watch me. -2 to +5 is increasing 7. -4 to -3 is increasing 1. So your y's change by 7, your x change by 1. So your slope equals 7 over 1, which is the same as 7. Your back number, we're just going to have to bite the bullet. I'm going to go with this one because there's not a negative. I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever you picked, it doesn't matter. So I already know I'm going to have to plug my numbers in, so I'm not going to do this step. I'm just going to start rolling. So y equals 5. Your slope equals 7. Your x was a -3. So when y was 5, x was -3, plus some back number that I don't know. So 5 equals -21 plus b. Ugh. What can I add -21 to get a +5? Well, that number has to be larger than the negative. So I can add 21 to both sides. So b has to equal 21. I need this one and I need that one. I'm not circling it because it's not my answer. My answer is y equals, my slope was 7. Slope always goes with x. My back number is 26. That's my answer. That's what I circled. Get in the habit of circling the correct answer because it'll make it easier when you have a test on the computer. All right, let's get it, children.